All right, I'm gonna smack this man.
No, she's not. All right, so we don't always follow up on some of the products that we introduce to you guys that we use pretty much on a daily basis in this rig. So today we're gonna cover all of our bases. We're gonna cover 20 products. And that's not really all of the products we use in here, but these are our top 20, if you will, and this is gonna be rapid fire. So somebody's gonna have to keep it quick.
You too.
Keep it simple.
You're the jibber jabber.
Whatever.
So 2 of them are going to be brand new. We haven't talked about them before. And then the other ones, we've talked about them at some point.
Yeah, so some of them we talked about at some point briefly. Others we've kind of kicked a dead horse about, and we're going to save those for the end. But we got 20 products, and it's going to be rapid fire starting now. All right, first on our list is this Ninja Woodfire 7-in-1 grill. This thing does all kinds of stuff. So grill, smoker, air crisper, baker, roast, reheat, and dehydrate. Now, I love this thing. Candace likes it too, but she's got a couple of gripes about it. But number one, I like that this thing smokes amazingly. Previously we had a Pit Boss, and this thing smokes way better than the Pit Boss. You really get that smoky flavor. What we don't like about it is it's extremely, well, I don't know if it's extremely hard to clean, but it can be difficult to clean. So especially up in this area here, when that grease splatters up, it can be kind of hard to clean, and it tends to drip grease around the edges. It comes with a couple of different pans. It's got this one, and then it's got like the ridged one, which can also be a little bit hard to clean. But as far as outside grills go and smokers and stuff, I really, really love this thing.
All right, next on our list is this Nuwave toaster oven. Now, it is quite big, but I did that deliberately because I want to be able to cook some large things. Like this will fit a 9x13 pan, which is great because I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but I cannot light the stupid oven. Jeremy has to light it for me every single time. So now I can cook things myself in here. This thing has quite a few functions. You've got toast, broil, bake, roast, grill, pizza, proof, air fry, reheat, cookie, slow cook, and dehydrate. So I've barely even scratched the surface with this thing, but the nice thing is you have a heating element on the bottom, you have a heating element on the top, and you can control both of them. So like for pizza, I think it's like 70% on the bottom, 30 at the top, or vice versa. I don't know. But it's very customizable, and so I like that. The only real negative that we've seen to this so far is that it is a power hog, and Jeremy's gonna talk about that in just a little bit.
Okay, forgive the status of my pass-through. It's a disaster, but the next item up here is this Craftsman Toolbox. Now, everything that we're talking about today is on Amazon, and we're gonna provide links down below, as well as the link to our Amazon store. This is the only one that I didn't get on Amazon because I can't really find it. I got this at Lowe's, but I love this toolbox. It fits in here perfectly between all of the support beams in the top of the pass-through. That's where this lid kind of goes up in there. It's got, I don't know, 4 drawers on here. They're nice soft closed drawers. Plenty of room for most of my tools. Now I have totally separate toolboxes for my RV technician stuff, but for personal use, this thing pretty much holds everything that I need to work on just about everything in my rig. All right, we got a couple of different things up here in this front storage area. Number one is this Vatrer 300 amp hour battery. Man, I really love this thing. Lots of capacity. It's a smart battery, so I can monitor it and control everything from my phone. It's got a self-heating function. It's got all the bells and whistles. Pay no attention to this battery. This is an old one that I just haven't found a home for yet. But the Vatrer 300 amp hour battery has really, really been good to us. The second thing that we're gonna look at up here is this 2000 watt inverter from Renogy. This is a good inverter. It's got an automatic transfer switch in it, so it switches over automatically anytime we lose shore power, and the only thing that it powers is the outlets in our rig. The downside to this is I only went with I originally went with a 1000 watt inverter. Kind of was having a brain fart on that one. So I upgraded to this 2000 watt inverter, and honestly, it's still not big enough because we're not able to run like the toaster oven she was just talking about, which is a power hog. We're not able to run that and pretty much anything else on that circuit. So eventually I am gonna upgrade this to a 3000 watt inverter, but this is still a very solid inverter. It's just not quite big enough for our purposes.
Next up is this dehumidifier by Govee. So we recently replaced our old dehumidifier that we had had for years, starting way back from when we had our cabin. But we went with the Govee because it's smart. Echo, turn off the dehumidifier. And a lot of our other products, our water sensors and our temp sensors, are also Govee. The nice thing about this, now it is oversized. This thing is about, we'll do a 2,500 square foot house. And we did that deliberately because at some point in the future, we're going to have some sort of a house. And so we wanted to be able to transition this into the house at that point. But one of the cool features that I like is that when the bucket gets full, I get a notification on my phone. And because sometimes I'm not really looking at this, but that notification on the phone tells me, hey, bucket's full, go ahead and empty it. And that's it, we're done. This thing keeps the humidity right now. I think we're sitting at about 35% in here. Oh, nope, 32, I was close. So it definitely works. Don't buy one of these small little tabletop things. Those don't work.
Two more items out here. So number one is this Clearsource Ultra Water Filtration System. 3 filters in it. It's got the sediment filter, it's got one that's a little bit finer, and then it's got one that's super fine. And that one actually protects us from all of the viruses that are floating around in these campground water systems. We've had this one for almost 5 years now and have had 0 problems with it. The filters can be a little bit expensive. They're about 70 bucks to replace the filters, but I only got to do it about once every 3 to 4 months or so. The second thing we got out here is our on-the-go portable water softener. We love this thing. We would never RV without a water softener. We're water snobs. I know we've mentioned that in the past. This is kind of one of those topics that we've kind of kicked a dead horse on. This whole setup here is something that we would never live without in our RV. I know a lot of people are just using those single water filters out there and they're like, well, we don't drink it. We drink our water and it's perfectly safe and it tastes delicious.
Next is the shower curtain. So we love this thing. I really love the aesthetics in the bathroom now. It's just very pretty. So we did this, I don't know, it was a couple months ago. We originally had that tri-fold shower door. It was heavy. The tracks were hard to clean. The water spots were it just looked dirty all the time. So we replaced it with this curved shower rod and this shower curtain. The thing I like about the shower curtain is it unsnaps right here, and this is all you have to wash in your washing machine. So that's super easy to take care of. It doesn't billow in on us, which I think is a result of this curved shower rod, and it's plenty long enough, at least for our shower, so it doesn't fall out and drain water all over the floor. Next up is our shower head. So this shower originally came with a rainfall shower head up here, which just is not functional for most people. So we went ahead and bought this one off of Amazon. It matches the other fixtures, and it's a lot cheaper than the Oxygenics that a lot of people are talking about. So it puts out really good pressure without wasting a lot of water. So that's another benefit, especially if you're boondocking, trying to conserve water and whatnot. So yeah, nice shower head.
Next up, and this is really 2 products in one for us, but that is this Haloview BT7 backup camera and TPMS system. So it's got both systems all in one unit, and we absolutely love this thing. Like I've always said, it's one less thing that I've got to have up on the dashboard, meaning I don't have to have a screen for the TPMS and a separate screen for the camera. We've had a couple of different versions of these Halo backup cameras, and we've had no issues with any of them. Their customer support has always been really great. And these are 2 items that are not only just something that we wouldn't live without in our RV, as a personal choice, these are 2 items that you absolutely need when you're hauling one of these big rigs down the road. And now, because I brought this up and I've talked about getting things off of my dashboard, I want to show how we organize all of this stuff on our dashboard. So we use the Bulletpoint mounting system, and this thing was a game changer when we got it. When we first started RVing, we had the backup camera, we had the TPMS monitor, we had a camera or 2 that we wanted to use, inside of the rig to record us. We wanted to be able to record outside as we're driving down the road. And then we also had our cell phones. So where do you put all this stuff and how do you organize it on your dashboard? Well, the Bulletpoint mounting system was the perfect solution for us. This thing secured right into our dashboard. It was very easy to install, and it helped us get everything organized and really centrally located in the middle of the truck, where we could both see all of those components and we could both operate them if we need to. So this is one thing that's really cleaned up our travel days, and it's just made all of those things that are on our dashboard easier to reach and easier to read. Next up is our Govee temperature sensors. There we go. These things are really kind of a lifesaver because, believe it or not, there are places in your RV that you really do want to monitor the temperatures. So for an example, RV refrigerators. We've got one of these 12-volt residential style refrigerators, and they're really nice and big and fancy. They got all the features on them, but we've had some pretty serious problems with this refrigerator. Now, I'm not going to get into super detail on that. You can go back and watch those videos if you want, but basically this thing has stopped cooling on us several times, requiring a new control board, and it was just kind of a pain in the neck. So these Govee temperature sensors, we just keep one in the refrigerator part, we keep one down in the freezer, and then we get alerted anytime the temperature in either the freezer or the refrigerator goes above what we've got it set to. And that has really saved our bacon a couple of times, because when we had our problems with the refrigerator, that's what told us basically that we had the problem. Another great place to use those temperature sensors is in the underbelly, because a lot of us are going to camp in freezing weather, and it's a really good idea to know what the temperature is down there in the underbelly so that you can prevent freezing up water lines, freezing up tanks, all those things that are down there. Another great use for those things is just monitoring the temperature inside of your RV. These Govee sensors are wireless, and you can monitor them from anywhere in the world as long as you've got an internet connection. So if you got pets inside of your RV, it's a hot summer day, you're away from the rig, the last thing you want to happen is to lose shore power in your rig, and next thing you know, it's 90 degrees and your pets are suffocating. So that's just one more good application for these Govee temperature sensors. Next up is our RV SnapPads for our landing gear. Yeah, I know, everybody talks about this one, and I struggled whether to include this, but we do really, really like them. So number one, it helps protect the feet on the landing gear. Number two, if you're in a softer area, it provides a little bit bigger of a footprint so it doesn't sink down as much. And then number three, it provides just a little bit more stability than just using the landing gear themselves. Now, it's not gonna keep this thing from rocking, but it does help out with stability a little bit. Next up is this Happy Travel storage tent. I call it a bike storage tent because that's what we've got in there. We've got a couple of e-bikes in here. We've got our little pull behind cart that we use when we go to like the pool and we're taking a bunch of stuff with us. We've got our floaties for the pool in here. This is just about the right size for us for just some of the extra stuff that was sitting outside that we wanted to get out of the weather. So this thing's been really good. We have been in so much wind, it hasn't even been funny. We're talking 50-mile-an-hour winds. This thing comes with tie downs, so you can tie it down in the wind. It's fallen over a couple of times, but we're only talking in the most extreme wind. The only other real downside to this is you got to be careful when it's sitting on concrete. We've put a couple of holes in the floor of this thing because that's where the kickstands come down on the bike, and when the wind really kicks up, it will tend to maybe poke that kickstand through the bottom of the floor, but it's easy to fix. Just a little bit of duct tape. Put that down there, seals it back up. But other than that, we've been super, super happy with this. I think it was like 40 bucks or something on Amazon. So if I had to buy one of these a year, totally worth it. Next up, you saw we had e-bikes, and now we've got our e-bike rack. And this is an e-bike rack from Cravot, I think is how you say it, C-R-A-V-O-T. We got it off of Amazon. Again, when we've got these bikes up here and everything's strapped down, this thing barely moves around at all. I can't tell it's back here when I'm towing. On our last rig, we had a little storage rack back here that weighed maybe 50 pounds, 75 pounds, something like that. And we put just a couple of things on there, didn't weigh nearly as much as this, and I could actually feel that thing when we were towing down the road. So the fact that I cannot feel this bouncing around at all when we're towing down the road is a super plus for us. The only downside to this Cravot design here is it's got this little hump back here where it goes into the hitch, which means we're not able to open up this back door at all, really, unless we take this bike rack down. But we've gotten around that several times. Sometimes we'll just come in from the sides. If we're just like staying overnight, we need to get back there, we'll come in from the side doors and get in there. But been super, super happy with this bike rack. One of the best additions we've made to our entire setup. Okay, this is where we're gonna start beating a dead horse a little bit, because we have talked about these next few many times in many of our videos. But next up is this smart water valve that we've got in here. Again, what this thing allows us to do is automate turning the water on and off in the rig. So number one, when we leave, this thing's paired up with Alexa. And so all we gotta do is say, hey, Alexa, I'm leaving. And she automatically turns the water off for us.
Echo, I'm leaving. Okay.
And in those rare cases where we forget to turn the water off when we leave the rig, because we always do, if we're out in town, we're eating dinner somewhere, I can say, oh crap, I forgot to turn the water off, get on my phone, get on the Alexa app, boom, turn the water off to the rig. That way, if we have a leak, obviously we minimize the damage. And then number two, this water valve is connected up or synced up with our water detectors from Govee. And so you can see I've got one in here. I normally just keep it right inside the door here because, you know, these seals are crap around all of these doors. So when these things detect a water leak, it sends a signal to Alexa, says, hey, I've got a water leak. Alexa then turns around and closes this water valve, shuts off all the water to the rig. So even if we're home, we got a leak somewhere, these things will tell us that we've got a leak, and then that thing will shut off the water to minimize how much we have to clean up.
Here's another one that we've talked about a good bit, but this is our Nice keyless door lock, and we love this thing. I mean, this thing is so sturdy. The buttons haven't collapsed, they haven't worn out, super easy to use. I really like it. I like it better than our old one. Our old one kind of felt a little flimsy. This one is just sturdy. I love the key fobs. Again, they're also sturdy. Just, it's a good price point. I can't say enough about how much we really, really, really like this.
And finally, the dead horse we're kicking the most here is our EcoFlow setup. I'm not going to go really in depth on this, but this EcoFlow setup is an alternative to a traditional solar setup in your rig. This thing will provide us with 3,600 watts of power. I've got 2 extra batteries on it. So in total, we can get almost 11,000 watt hours out of this setup right here. Granted, it's only a 30 amp setup the way that we have it now, which is I think going to be our final configuration here. But again, we've talked about this a lot, and we'll put a link down in the description for a playlist for all of our videos that contain these EcoFlows here. And if I had to say the number one purchase that I'm glad that we've made in this rig, it's this EcoFlow setup. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. I think that was 20 products. My last count, I think was 20 products. Again, these are things that we absolutely would not live without in this rig. Again, we're not always good at following up on some of these things. Some of these things, again, we have talked about ad nauseum. So, and again, every product that we saw here, with the exception of that toolbox, is gonna be on Amazon. All those links are gonna be down below, as well as the links for the videos.
Yes. Yes, so we'll have the playlist down there. We'll link to the original videos where we talked about the products. So if you want the nitty-gritty details, then those will be down there in the description as well.
Or you could just take our word for it and go out and buy these things, because like I said, most of these things are just super convenient, super easy to use. They're lightweight, they're compact, you know, like that Ninja grill, really lightweight, really compact, certainly lighter than that Pit Boss that we had. So anyway, you can go watch those old videos if you want, or you can just click on those Amazon links down below and pick a few of these up on your own.
And before we let you go, if you missed our recent video where we talked about our big exciting news, we are starting a monthly newsletter. 1 newsletter per month. We're not going to spam you with a whole bunch of stuff every day and every week. So 1 newsletter per month. If you'd like to be included, pop down into the description and we've got all the details. We've got our email address. You just send us your email address. We'll get you added. And the first newsletter should come out towards the end of February, early March. So stay tuned. If you've liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit the bell button so you're notified of all of our future videos. And as always, happy camping and stay safe out there.